How's it going, football fans? Welcome back inside the set of Gridiron Glory. I'm Josh Huntsberger alongside Colin Brown. We're here to talk about our game of the week, which features John Glenn heading to Sheridan. Colin, John Glenn sitting at 3-2, Sheridan at 4-1, but they both came off losses last week. What do these guys need to do to bounce back?
You know, Josh, the big thing for both teams is that they run the ball a lot and they score a lot. John Glenn averages 26 points per game, where Sheridan averages 38 points a game. However, another big thing for both teams is that they both play very good defense. John Glenn, again, only 11 points per game, whereas Sheridan only gives up 15 points a game. So two good defenses going against two really good running teams. It should be a really quick game in Thornville Friday night. So the big difference is going to be who makes the big plays and then who takes care of the football.
All right, so you talk about the running games. Both of them are very effective. Why don't you tell us how they're so effective on the ground?
Well, the big thing for the running game for both teams comes down to one player from each team. For John Glenn, that's Blake Atkins, and for Sheridan, that's Connor Smith, both players who just happen to end up to be on the Gridiron Glory Player of the Year watch list in the MVL. So those two players, they're the motors of the team. Blake Atkins, he's the big home run hitter for John Glenn, as is Connor Smith for Sheridan. So whoever can break off that big play, break through the other team's good, solid defense, like I had said earlier, that's what's going to be a big factor in the game.
All right, now he's broken down a little bit what the teams need to do. But Colin, who of these two teams, who needs this win more?
I think without a doubt it's Sheridan. You see, week 7 they play Philo, week 8 against Maysville. Both of those teams are 4-1 overall, 3-1 in conference. Then, of course, the big week 9 showdown against Tri-Valley.
Everybody knows about that one.
Oh, of course they do, Josh. And then week 10 against New Lexington, always a good team. So their opponents' records combined right now is 16-4, 11-4 in conference. Whereas John Glenn, week 7, has Morgan, who's 1-4. Crooksville in week 10, who's 2-3. Those two teams are combined 0-6 in conference. So two relatively easier games for the little Muskies, whereas Sheridan's got a pretty tough schedule for the rest of the year.
All right, so this is very important for the Generals. Moving forward, they got a lot of tough games ahead. Let's jump back to the game Friday night, Colin. Why don't you go ahead and give us a prediction on who you think is going to take the victory?
Oh, Josh, you know, if it put me on the spot, I'm going to have to say in Thornville, Coach Paul Culver Jr., he knows what he's doing. The Red Rage is always out in full force in Thornville on Friday nights. They've just got such a high-powered offense. I'm going to have to give it to Sheridan, let's say 28-24.
28-24. All right, so a close game. They're going to hang around for a while, but the Generals are going to come out with it. Sounds good. Thanks, Colin. Now, if you want to check out highlights for that game, tune into our show Friday night at 11:30 on WOUB. But if you can't wait till then, keep coming back to our website at woub.org/gridiron. But until then, for Colin Brown, I'm Josh Huntsberger, reminding you that there's nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory.